Today, we are going to walk through the anatomy of a high converting sales page. The secret formula for high converting copy is your brand and brand values plus your ideal client, a really deep knowledge of your hero ideal client, right? Plus your unique transformation that only you provide, what makes you different in that transformation. Plus, and this is a biggie, matching that up to your client's journey of transformation, knowing exactly where they are on that journey when you encounter them, when they first encounter you, and exactly what steps they've been through and where they need to go to get to the final transformation that they are looking for. Okay. So, in a high converting sales page, we're going to have a few key sections. I hesitate to say section because if you're a funnel builder, you're thinking of sections as like sections in the funnel builders. Few key parts of the sales page. Okay. So there's the above the fold or above the scroll section. That's what we see first when we go to the sales page before we start scrolling. Then there is the emotional journey. And then there is the logical journey. As humans, we are wired to buy first with our emotions, and then we bring the logic brain in to justify that buying decision to help us determine, is this valuable? Is this safe? Are they a safe, trustworthy source for the transformation that I'm looking for? Okay, so let's start with above the scroll. So this is a sales page for a program I no longer sell. But there are a bunch of great pieces here that I want to show you. Whether or not you use a two-step order form right on your sales page, you can just ignore this section if this is not something that you normally provide in your sales page, the white box here, okay? And you would just make the whole thing full width. So what we have first here is a good hook that speaks to the struggle that they're going through and their desired transformation, right? Wish you could wave a wand over your sales page, whisper abracadabra, then sit back and watch as the sales notifications magically appear in your inbox, right? So that is speaking to that deep desire that they have to make this easy. Unlock the secrets to writing magical sales pages that convert. That's the desired transformation that they want. And then we have a great mock-up. Now, do not underestimate the power of a great mock-up. The purpose of a mock-up on our sales page, and all our mock-ups, right? Not just the big one, but little ones for the bonuses and the components in the offer. We are selling digital assets, intangible assets. And what a mock-up does is it takes those intangible assets and makes them tangible. It helps your ideal client envision themselves using those assets. So when we have images that of the Trello board or a Zoom meeting or you teaching or a sneak peek inside your members area, they can imagine using those on those devices. When we have images of printed out worksheets, they can imagine printing out and holding those assets in their hands and using them to achieve the transformation. So it shows them there's all of this great stuff and helps them at an unconscious level imagine using those pieces and having that solution in their lives. And then we have a good tagline here or subheadline. All the templates, ingredients, and sales spells you need to get your sales copy sorted. So we're telling them this is a comprehensive solution. And then even if you're not creative, hate writing, and didn't have a magical education to teach you how to conjure up high converting sales pages in your sleep. So there I'm speaking to their objections, the things that are coming up in their mind that say, this won't work for me because the self-doubt that's coming up to say, this is why this is not going to work for me. Okay. And then we want to have in that above the fold or above the scroll area, we want a call to action. Now this one has a two-step order form on it. So this is actually going to submit the form here because this was a $37 product in SLO. For a larger program, for a program where you have colder traffic and we need to get them through that emotional journey first to help them understand why they need this offer you're going to want to have a call to action that is still in the first person, right? It's proven to convert better when we use the first person in a call to action because we hear it in our heads in our own voice, and that convinces our brain that we want it. Yes, I want this. Yes, I'm ready for this transformation, right? Yes, give me the details. And that call to action is going to jump them down past the emotional journey to where you introduce the offer at the top of the logical argument. And we'll get there and show you what that looks like. And the reason that we have that call to action button is for our fast action takers, the people who got to this page, they know they want the thing, they don't want to have to go through the whole long form sales page, they just want the details. We're going to jump them down to show them all of the great things that are included and then give them the opportunity to buy it. And that is going to reduce the number of bounces from your checkout page. So the reason we don't go straight to the checkout page is even if they think that they want it right at the top of the page, and they click that call to action button, they go to the checkout page. If they're not familiar with what is included, the little doubt muscle is going to kick in when they get to the sales page. Is it really worth it? Is it really the amount of value that I'm going to pay for it? But if we have jumped them down to the logical argument and introduced the offer and shown them what's inside and then given them the actual call to action that goes to the checkout, they know what they're getting. And they have that additional opportunity to say, yes, this is what I want. This is what I'm signing up for. That's going to reduce churn from our checkout page. Okay. So call to action at the top. If it's a low ticket offer, if it's a no-brainer price point, you can have a two-step order form right on the page or get them right to the checkout page. But for the most part, we're going to want to have a call to action that jumps them down to the midway point of the sales page where we introduce the offer. Okay. So let's talk about the emotional journey. This is what we call the marketing argument. So we are showing them why they want this from an emotional standpoint. So we're going to talk about the problem or the struggle that they want to solve. And we're going to show them that we understand their struggle almost better than they do. And the reason for that is she who can describe the struggle best wins that client. When we know that the person we're buying from truly understands what we're going through, often this is a struggle you have solved for yourselves, right? When we know that person truly understands what we're going through, we believe that they are the right person to solve the problem for us. Okay. So we're going to go through the struggle. We're going to give them quick reassurance that it's not their fault. They're not alone. This is a really common problem because oftentimes when we are caught up in the struggle, we start thinking, I'm so stupid. I'm the only person that is going through this problem. Nobody else is struggling with imposter syndrome. Nobody else is struggling to get their tech stack sorted. No one else is struggling with design. So we're showing them, I'm laying out the struggle. I'm showing you that as a person with, to give myself as an example, as a person with ADHD, you struggle to X, Y, and Z. And I'm showing you exactly how that shows up in your life, right? So you're right in the middle of the action. And then I say, hey, it is okay. So many women go undiagnosed with ADHD until adulthood, and they don't have the toolkit to handle all of the additional stresses and whatever that hit when we hit adulthood. And you're not alone. And there is a solution. That's our reassurance. You're not alone. There is a solution. Now, we're going to future pace. We're going to help them imagine what their life could be like if they solve the problem. Imagine waking up every morning, knowing exactly what you plan to do today, getting a quick win first thing in the day that boosts your momentum and your motivation for the entire day, getting more done in a day than you usually get done in a month, never missing a deadline again, all of those things. We're helping them imagine all the desired results that they already know they want, right? We're helping them imagine themselves at that future point with our solution in their lives where they have succeeded in overcoming the struggle, okay? And then we're giving our own story. The brilliance of putting our story right here is, and this can be woven into the future pacing as well, When we tell our story, which is so often their story, right? It should match up with their journey. When we tell their story through our eyes, it removes all of the shame and guilt that we tell ourselves about our own situation. Like we would never judge somebody else who's going through the same struggle, but we judge ourselves so harshly, right? So if we are seeing our journey, our story, our struggles through someone else's eyes, then we have compassion for the journey. Then we start feeling compassion for ourselves, and we start feeling like a solution is possible instead of being bound up in that shame and guilt. Okay. So that's where adding your story here is so fantastic, because we're going to show them that you've been through that same roller coaster of a journey that they're on right now. And then you solved the problem and you've reached the point that is the deepest, most desperate desire of their hearts. And that's your solution. Right. So, and then we give some quick social proof or stats to back it up, because our emotional brain is, I'm so into this now, and the logic brain's like, hey, let's just make sure that we don't get ahead of ourselves, right? So we're going to give some quick social proof and statistics, and then we are going to introduce the offer. That's why I'm so excited to welcome you to the Neurodivergent Biz Owners Hub, or whatever it is, right? Whatever your offer is. And then we give a good tagline that says exactly what that offer is and is going to do for them and who it's for. The premier program for female entrepreneurs with ADHD the premier program that helps female entrepreneurs with ADHD achieve productivity and blah, blah, blah in as little as 6 weeks or whatever it is, right? So we're going to give a good tagline that describes why they want this. Then we go into the benefits and meaning and the features and what's in it for me. So all of this is tied up together. So benefits and meaning starts with that tagline, who this is for and what it's going to do for you. Then we go into all the great things that are included in your program. Okay. In Katie's case, she has the Reels trend report that is so fantastic. Inside this monthly subscription newsletter, you're going to find trending sounds, easy ways to use them in your Instagram, scripts you can use so you don't have to come up with your own captions, ways to do this without having to show your face, all of the different things. And I'm literally making up an awesome program on the fly right now. I am making this up because I'm hoping someone will actually create this program. But I'm trying to pull different examples. And then she also has an amazing vault of the past stuff that you get access to in Google Sheets form. So you can go back to former things. You don't have to remember what was in this month's trend report. You can always go back for reference. So we're going to talk about those features, but we're going to also use the what's in it for me. So you notice when I said there's this amazing vault of past Reels trends, so you never have to worry about losing track of where that cool Reel idea was, right? What's in it for me? How's that going to make my day-to-day life and business better? Okay. So that's the features and benefits and meaning and what's in it for me. Always want to include what's in it for me, because as cool as your program is, as amazing as your program is, they don't care about the features as much as they care about what those features are going to do for them. What's in it for me? Angelique, who's in this group, likes to say it's her favorite radio station, WIIFM, right? What's in it for me? Okay. And then once we've gone through all of the cool stuff that's in the core program, we're going to include the first offer stack. Now, if this is a low ticket, like membership, you're probably not going to use an offer stack. You're going to instead show visually little mock-ups of all of the cool stuff that's included in the membership. But if you have the course or a coaching program or a service, a VIP day, something like that, you want to include all of the things that are included in list form. So we've talked about the features and stuff in kind of bullet points and narrative with the what's in it for me. Now we're going to list them out with values. So you can say you're getting the complete 12 module video course that's valued at $997 I like to make that like the core course, the amount of the course, and then we're stacking the bonuses on top. So then you're getting my workshop on kickstarting your morning to set you up for productivity. That's valued at $297. You're getting my productivity planner for ADHD entrepreneurs. That's valued at $197. You're getting my all the things, right? I'm going to include all of the cool, amazing things. Now, remember, when you're building these bonuses, you are you're looking at your ideal client and all that great research and deep dive that you've done into your ideal client. And you're thinking, okay, what does my ideal client need to succeed in this course? What are the things that my ideal client would consider weaknesses, would say are going to hold them back, would say are going to make it not right for them? And we're building bonuses around those things. Okay. So we're going to include all of those things. If, as an ADHD entrepreneur, if my ideal client who's an ADHD entrepreneur struggles to get going in the mornings, to know what to do first, that productivity planner that's going to help them kickstart their mornings is going to be a super valuable bonus and going to help them feel like, okay, I'm going to be set up for success here. I'm going to have all of the pieces that I need to support my journey through this program. Okay, so we have our first offer stack without bonuses, then social proof, and then we go to the full offer stack again with bonuses. Oops, here we go, the bonuses. So we're going to talk through the bonuses and give them a full offer stack with bonuses. Then the guarantee. So many people worry that if they offer a money back guarantee, people will just go in, download everything, ask for their money back, whatever. And yet, while that does happen, it doesn't happen as often as you think it's going to happen. And what does happen with a guarantee is that it reverses all the risks. So our logic brain, who is in here trying to determine if this is a safe purchase, it's not just value that our logic brain is looking for, it's safety, right? We are always looking to make sure we are making a safe decision. And the guarantee and the social proof are what helps our logic brain determine that this is safe. Social proof testimonials are showing that it has worked for other people. And the guarantee says, hey, you know what? I stand behind this program so much so that if you get in here and you try it out for 7 days and it's not the right fit for you, I don't deserve your money and I'm going to give it back, right? So the guarantee is such a huge risk reversal tool that we actually see so much better results in conversion that it is worth the small headache of the few bad actors who may hop into your program and download some stuff and then bail. So I always recommend a guarantee. Then FAQs. We're going to walk through all of the things that you can think of that your ideal clients might be asking themselves at this point in the journey. People always ask, how long does a sales page need to be? Because a lot of people hate reading long form sales pages, and that's fine. That's why all the way through, we're adding, every time we have an offer stack, we're adding a call to action button. Every time we have given them an emotional reason after the introduction of the offer, an emotional reason to join, we're giving them a call to action button so that at each point, end of each of those sections in the logical argument, they have the off ramp. Think of it as a freeway. They're on the freeway, they're traveling along, and there's an off ramp that's going to the checkout page. Okay, so we're going to have our FAQs. We're going to walk them through. So the sales page needs to be as long as it needs to be for the person who needs the most convincing. And then we include off ramps for everybody else so that at the point that they're ready, they can bail. Okay, Katie says, I don't think I have a guarantee for my trend report. Is there one that would work for a subscription like that? Yeah, I think you could offer a 7-day guarantee for, obviously that's only for the first month, right? So they're there for 7 days, they get in there. If they don't feel like it is the value that you claimed that it was on the sales page, you'll give the money back. And I know your product, and it is 100,000% worth the value that you claim that it's worth, right? That's what I would do. I would 7-day guarantee. If you get in here and you try it out and it's not all that and a bag of chips, I will just email me at connect at Katie, what's your KatieGable.com. whatever your domain is, help at, customer service at, support at. We're going to give them an email address so that it's like, it shows them it's an easy process. And I'll probably ask you a couple of questions so that I can improve my trends report, but I'm going to give you your money back. And the chances are you maybe get 1 or 2 requests. Okay. All right, so after our FAQs, we're gonna have the full offer stack again, and then optional, if there is natural urgency or scarcity around your offer, include that. So remember, we're all about the ethical. That's brilliant. I might have to try that. You could email, use to promote. Yeah, for sure. Okay, urgency and scarcity. We are all about being ethical here and not pushing people to purchase a program that is not right for them, right? Or not right for them at this time. So if there is a limited number of seats, a legitimately limited number of seats, because let's say you want to keep the cohort small so that you can have more intimate conversations in your group coaching calls. So you're only offering 20 seats. Seats are limited. I've only got 20 spots in here because I want to be able to get right into all of your businesses. When those seats are gone, they're gone. If there is a time limited bonus, you talk about that. There's a live workshop or a live behind the scenes, something like that, right? So you're going to talk about urgency and scarcity in an ethical way. The other thing that you can talk about gently is the opportunity cost, right? And this is where I say gently for a reason, because I see so many people say a year from now, you could still be, and then they like twist the knife on the pain points. We're not going to do that. We are going to say a year from now, you could be, and we're going to talk about the desired result, right? You could be running a successful agency with a rock star team of VAs that are serving all kinds of clients all around the world and blah, 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 blah. We're going to future pace again. That's the kind of opportunity costs that we want to talk about. Then the close. And the close is where we come back to the emotional brain. I know in my heart that this is the best program out there to help you achieve XYZ results because I have seen it for myself. It's the thing that changed the trajectory of my entire life and career. I have seen it for my clients as they, let's say, career counselor, as they created the career path of their dreams and landed 6-figure C-suite jobs, right? I have seen it work for myself. I have seen it work for my clients. I know this is going to work for you, and it is going to be a game changer and a life changer. I want this for you. I can't wait to help you get there. I will see you inside. Okay. That's our close. We're going to appeal to that emotional brain again. We're going to give one last offer stack to remind them of all of the goodness that is available inside and one last call to action.